Sly Cooper. Well, movie. Is this good or bad? Seriously, is this good or bad? I mean, okay, let's not jump to conclusions here. Movies based off of video games are normally bad, like really bad. So what does that make Sly Cooper? I mean, it's not that hard to get down, you know? They should be able to do it, but I don't know, I mean, it seems like from the trailer that just came out, it looks like that it's, you know, the characters are somewhat like how they were. Me personally, Sly Cooper was one of those games that I just fell in love with as a child. I think I was like 10 years old, no, not 10, maybe a little younger, when the first one came out. It was fun, it was great, the characters were funny, the story was actually pretty dark for a kid's game. I personally think that the original story-wise was better, the first one, but the second one and the third one were definitely funner to play. Although the third one didn't really bring anything new to the table in terms of gameplay. And for anyone who doesn't know about Sly Cooper, it's basically a story about a young raccoon who was born into a family of master thieves, and they're all raccoons. And his name is Sly Cooper. He is from the Cooper family. Now one day, when he was a child, his father was killed by a group known as the Fiendish Five, a group that wanted to steal the Thievius Raccoonus. The Thievius Raccoonus was an old book that had all the history and moves of his ancestors. They all wrote it down in this book called the Thievius Raccoonus. And then he gets sent to an orphanage, and there he meets his two best buddies, Bentley and Murray. In the first game, it was a little confusing. Bentley's job was, you know, the guy on the computer, hacking information, you know, he was a smart one. Murray was a little different in the first one. He was just the driver entirely. Second and third one, he eventually became the strong one. He became the brawn of the group, but he was kind of a wimp in the first one. And so, after they get out of the orphanage, they become thieves. And the whole premise of the first game is to get back the Thievius Raccoonus and defeat the Fiendish Five. All around, it was a great game. At the same time, however, he is pursued by Carmelita Fox, who is a police officer for Interpol that is trying to hunt down Sly and his gang and bring them to justice. Of course, it has a nice romance between Carmelita and Sly. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything because I don't know what the movie itself is going to be about. It could be about the game. The games, like, with the same story as the games. It could be a movie version of the first game, or it could just completely change everything, which they should not do, in my opinion. I think that they should just kind of base it completely off the first game, follow the first game to the letter. Well, not to the letter, I mean, it's a different medium, so they're going to have to change some things story-wise, but I do think that they should still keep with this plot of the Fiendish Five, the Thievius Raccoonus. I don't really want them, like, taking it into another direction. Now, the movie says that they're going to come out in 2016, but considering that's 2 years from now, I personally think it's not going to come out until 2017, you know. It's probably going to get delayed, especially if it's an animated movie, because animated movies are actually more difficult to do and more time-consuming to do than live action, because, you know, in something like an animated movie, they have to make everything from scratch, all the sound effects, all the visuals, all that kind of stuff. So I personally think it's going to be released in 2017. The thing I'm worried about is that this is a movie, and this is probably Hollywood, you know? So it just really worries me because Hollywood has a tendency to take video games, just completely change them, completely deviate from the original source material. A few good examples are Resident Evil, Dragon Ball Evolution. They never work. Very rarely does a movie based off a video game actually work. There are only 3 things that you need to do in order to get this movie right. First, you need to get the characters right. You need to actually make the characters how they were in the game. This should be easy, you know? I mean, keep the personalities the same, keep their jobs the same, everything about the characters, keep them the same. And there are really only 4 characters that you need to definitely keep. You've got Sly, Bentley, Murray, Carmelita. You keep those 4 characters, you should be good. Story-wise, like I said, personally they should base it directly off of the first game. Just follow the story of the first game to the letter. But I really don't know. I highly doubt that they will do that, personally. And the last thing is, you gotta keep the somewhat dark nature of it. Now the games were never necessarily dark, but they did deal with some dark themes. After all, Sly's family got killed. His father got killed right in front of him, and there are a lot of things in the games that were pretty deep for kids. You know, they can't make this like super kid friendly. As long as they keep those 3 elements, there shouldn't be any reason it can't succeed. Personally, if I had to bet money to see what will actually happen with this movie, box office wise and fans' opinion wise, I would say this would bomb. I would say that this would suck, just if I had to bet money. Personally, I'm a bit of an optimist. I like to think that it would be good. I'd like to think that they would take it the right way, but honestly, it's Hollywood. You never know. When they try to rehash sequels, when they try to make when they try to take one medium and turn it into a movie, like books, games, all these different things, it almost never works out. So, probably being a little optimistic here, but I do hope that it will be good, and even if people say it's bad, I'm probably still gonna see it, because that was my childhood. That along with Jak and Daxter, along with Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank, those games made my childhood. Those games is what made me a PlayStation fan. Those games are what got me into video games to begin with. And you know, I need to see this movie. I will never forgive myself if I don't. So, fingers crossed, here's hoping. In a little bit, I will do an analysis video for the trailer to see what we can expect story-wise, elements-wise, everything like that, to see if the characters in the trailer match up. So please look out for that. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.